Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuhu. Subject Computer Science for 11th Standard Year Section. Last class we completed Chapter 8 Invariant and Recursion. Now in this class we are going to start a new chapter, chapter number 9, Introduction to C++, Part 1. In this class we are going to cover three topics. One is introduction, second character set, third lexical units. Let's start our first class of C++. So in introduction we are going to discuss three important things. One, what is C++, another, history of C++, and third is benefits of learning C++. So of course C++ is one of the most popular programming language. What is language? Language is a software which is used to give instruction to computer. There are many languages like C, C++, Java, Fortran, VB, Pascal. These Fortran and Pascal are older version of languages, namely called as procedural languages. C is also comes under the same category, procedural languages, but C++ comes under a new programming languages called object-oriented programming paradigms. So all the languages invented after C++ are comes under object-oriented programming languages. Thus C++ is called as a hybrid language. Hybrid means combination of different styles. So C++ is a superset of its predecessor C language. So C++ is a language which is created from C language. So C language is the predecessor of C++. Next one, history of C++. When we talk about history of C++, Mr. Bajan Stusov, who invented the C++ for AT and Tel and T Bell laboratories in 1979. Originally, C++ is derived from C language and influenced by many languages like Simula, BCPL, ADA, ML, CLU, Algol 68. So, but generally what we say is C is the predecessor of C++, but actually when we technically talking, C++ is a derived language from different languages which are listed here, like Simula is older language, BCPL, ADA, ADA, ML, CLU, Algol 68. So these are languages which are used to create C++ language and created by Bajan Stusov in 1979. Till 1983, it was referred as New C. Actually, C++ was first named as New C and C with classes. There are two names referred till 1983, but it was invented in 1979. So C++ was developed in 1979, but till 1983, approximately for 4 years, the name of the C++ language is New C and C with classes. But in 1983, the name was changed as C++ by Rick Massity. So he is the person who coined the name C++. Actually, C++ is the operator used in C++ language. It is called as an increment operator, which we learn in this topic. So by using this operator with the name C, Rick Massity coined the name C++. So this is the history. Now next one is the benefits of learning C++. First benefit is C++ is a highly portable language. So portability refers to platform. Here platform refers to operating system and devices. Multi-devices, C++ programs and languages can work in many devices and it can work in all operating systems till the so till the development. So this is the first benefit of learning C++. One is highly portability. Next one is C++ is an object-oriented language which includes all the features of OOPS. So object-oriented language generally called as OOPS, OOPS, OOPS. That is the shortest form of object-oriented is called OOP. OOPS languages. The OOP languages consist of five concepts. One is classes, inheritance, polymorphism, data abstraction, encapsulation. These are the major features of any object-oriented language. So C++ is not only a object-oriented language. All the languages like Java, VB, MySQL, Python all comes under object-oriented language. All the languages have this feature, but very first the OOPS concept was introduced and popularized by C++ language. C++ had a rich function libraries. So of course we know what is function. It is a subprogram. C++ consists of a mini pre-built or pre-defined functions. All the functions are stored in the form of library files. So that's why it is called. That's why we called C++ has its function libraries. Next, the fourth point is C++ allows exception handling, inheritance, and function overloading. So in C++, handling exception handling and inheritance functions were used very effectively. Now we are going to discuss all these things in detail when we now next point is C++ is a powerful, efficient, fast language which very helpful in GUI applications to 3D graphics for games to real-time mathematical simulations. So one of the powerful language used for creating 3D games which supports GUI. So these are the five important benefits of learning C++ language. Now I hope you understand this concept, history and benefits of C++. Now we are going to see the next topic, character set. Character set of C++ language. So each and every language must have some character set which can be used in that language. So this is the basic element. There are different set of characters which can be used in C++. Like we can use alphabets in C++ language. That alphabet may be capital letter A to Z, small letter A to Z. When you come numeric, we can use all type of numerics 0 to 9, even negative numbers also we can use in C++. Next is special characters. These are the some special characters which can used in C++ language. Other than these special characters are not allowed in C++ language. Next one is white space. White space means blank space, horizontal tab, garage redet, that is enter key, new line, form feed. All these uh, graphical characteristics can be used in C++ languages. Next one, other characters like C++ can process any of 256 ASCII characters as data. So other than this character, there are some other data also in ASCII. So ASCII means American Standard Code for Information Interchange, which we already discussed in the chapter number 2, number system, which is used to convert any data into number. So all the characters used in ASCII can be used in C++ language. So this is the character set of C++ language. Now next topic is lexical units, otherwise called as tokens. What is lexical unit? C++ program statements are constructed by many different small elements such as commands, variables, constant, and many more symbols are called as operators and punctuators. These individual elements are collectively called as lexical elements, lexical units, or tokens. There are five tokens in C++ language, namely keywords, identifier, literals, operators, punctuators. All the five elements collectively called as tokens. So these are the basic elements used in C++ language for giving instruction. So next we are going to discuss the tokens. The first token or lexical unit or lexical element, keywords. What is keywords? Keywords are the reserved words which convey specific meaning to C++ compiler. They are the essential element to construct C++ program. Most of the keywords are common to C, C++ and Java. So keywords are the reserved words. Some of the words which are reserved for C++ language and it gives some special meaning to compiler. So compiler is the utility software which is used to convert the C++ programs, that is instructions, into binary language, that is machine understandable language. So in this table you can see many words. Yes, some auto, break, case, catch, care, class, const, continue. These are some of the words which are reserved for this C++ language, and these words give some special meanings to compiler. It means some instruction to compiler. So these words are case sensitive. It means, for example, you are using this word break, then you should use that word in this case only. That is all the words, that is all the keywords should be in lower case. If you use in capital letter or any one of the letter is in capital letter, then it is not considered as a keywords. So C++ is a case sensitive language, so all the keywords must be in lower case. For divisions and addition, the reason list of keywords are included here, like using, namespace, bal, static underscore cast, const underscore cast. These are the newly added C++ keywords. So I hope you understand the first concept. First lexical element or token. Keywords are the reserved words which give some special meaning to the compiler. Some of the words are here. So now we are going to see the next lexical unit or element, identifier. What is identifier? So identifier are the user defined names. It is a name for what? To different parts of C++ program. In C++ there are different parts. For each and every part, user should give some name for identification. That name is called as identifier. For example, variables. We use variables, we use function, we use arrays, classes, etc. These are the some of the places, some of the parts of C++ language programs. So these parts should be given with a name. Should allot each and every part should be allotted with a unique name. This name is called as identifier. So these are the building blocks of any program. Every language has specific rules for naming identifier. So there are some rules for giving name to these parts. For example, if you declare a variable and you allotted a name, that name maybe you decide, but you should follow some rules. What is the rule? See here, the first rule. First character of identifier must be an alphabet or an underscore. This is the rule number one. So first character, first letter of the variable identifier should be an alphabet and underscore. It means we should begin with alphabet letter, a letter, and or we can begin with underscore. So we cannot declare any variable with the name starts from number or symbol. So other than underscore. Second, only alphabet, digit, underscore are permitted. Other special characters are not allowed. So if you take the character set, we can use alphabet in giving names. We can use numbers, that is digits 0 to 9. We can use underscore. Other than these, other symbols are not allowed in the names of identifier. 3. C++ is a case sensitive, of course we know. It treats upper and lower case differentially. So whenever you declare any variable, you should be very careful that the case C++ is a case sensitive. If you declare two variable, namely small letter a, another one is capital letter A. So C++ consider both the variables are different because small letter a and capital letter A is not same according to C++ rules. So that is called case sensitive. This is the rule number 3. Next, fourth point, reserved words cannot be used as identifier. So we already know the first token or first lexical unit, the keywords which is not used as keywords, sorry, identifiers. Next, as per ANSI standards, C++ places no limit on its length and therefore all the characters are significant. So if you want to give a lengthy name for any rule, for any identifier, you can give, but you should follow the ANSI standards. So next one is, you may use an underscore in variable names to separate different parts of the name. For example, see here there was an example, total underscore sales. We can use underscore in between the two words for separating. We can use the underscore at the beginning, is a valid identifier, whereas the variable called total sale is an invalid, because here you can see in between two words there was a space. So according to rule number 1, we cannot use symbols, special characters other than underscore. So in the special characters, this space is also included. So that's why we cannot use space between the name of the variable. For that purpose, only underscore is used in between the space, in between two words when we are giving identifier. Next one. So this is invalid. It is not accepted. It shows some error when you compile. You may use capital style notation such as Tamil mark, that is capitalizing the first character of the second word is also allowed in C++ identifier name rules. So these are the sub rules which you would remember at the time of allotting the identifier for any part of the C++ program like variables, functions, arrays and classes, etc. Now we are going to discuss the third lexical unit called literals. Literals are otherwise called as constant. These are the data items whose values do not change during the execution of a program. It means when you write a program, this mode is called a writing program or editing mode, where we can change the values of any variable, but after writing and after compiling the program, when you run the program, at the time of run, at the time of running any program, that mode is called execution mode. At that time, some variables values cannot be changed. That variable are called literals. So therefore literals are also called as constant, that is cannot change during the execution time. So there are different types of constant. Numeric constant. So as the name indicates, numeric constant. So numeric constant are classified into two category. One is integer constant or fixed point constant. Another one is real constant or floating point constant. So here integer, it means a fixed point constant. So we can literally we can say that integer are the numbers which are whole numbers. Integers are the numbers which are whole numbers without any fractions. Any integer constant may have at least one digit without a decimal point. So we cannot allow decimal point in integer constant or fixed constant. Next, it may be signed or unsigned. Signed refers to negative number, unsigned refers to positive number. Signed integer are considered as a negative number. Commas, blank spaces are not allowed as part of it. So in integer constant, we are allowed only to give numbers, negative number, positive number. And here we cannot give decimal points or fraction points. So these integer constant further classified into three categories. Of course, we know we already discussed these numbers, that is decimal number, octal number, hexadecimal number in the chapter number 2. So decimal number begins from 0 to 9. All the numbers are allowed here. So valid and invalid numbers are here. You can see some of the valid decimal numbers. For example, we can give 725, comma minus 27, comma 4.56. These numbers are valid. So here you can ask that 4.56 consists of fraction number. Yes, 4.56 is a number which contains decimal or fraction number, but this number is accepted as a integer and 0.56 is ignored. Only 4 is taken as an input and 0.56 ignored, simply ignored by C++ compiler. For example, you declare any integer constant, and when you are allotting a number, when you are giving any value to that integer constant, at that time if you give the number with the fraction or decimal number, for example here 4.56, that at that time 0.56 simply ignored, 4 is taken as a input. So 4.56 also a invalid when, but 4 only consider 0.56 ignored. So next, some of the invalid numbers. Here you can see 7 comma 500. 7500 is not allowed like this. So we cannot use comma, we cannot use blank spaces between numbers in integer constant. So these are numbers are invalid numbers. Next one is the octal number. So of course octal number starts from 0 to 7. Some of the valid and invalid numbers are here. You can see 0, 1, 2 we can give valid, this one is valid. but here we cannot allow because comma is here. Minus 0 to 7, yes, valid. 0.04.56, yes, decimal point is not allowed, but this number takes only 04 and 0.56 is ignored. Plus 023 we can give that number. 0158 is not allowed because in octal number the number set begins from 0 to 7, so here you cannot see 8, that's why this number is invalid. So because this digit consists of a 8 number, 8 is not permissible digit in octal system. So when you go for the hexadecimal, a sequence of one or more hexadecimal value. So hexadecimal values consist of 16 digit. So one is 0 to 9, another one is A to F. So it always starts with 0 small x or 0 small x. Capital letter X is considered as a hexadecimal number. So here you can see the suffix L or small letter L and U or small letter U added with any constant forces it to be represented as a long or unsigned constant. For example, if you want to declare any number as an unsigned, that is positive, you can either use the capital letters L or small letter L as a suffix. At the end of the digit, we can add this. Like we are adding 0x at the beginning of the hexadecimal number. In the same way, you can add either U or small letter U at the suffix position. So here you can see the valid 0x, small letter x and small capital letter X. These are the valid number. Here it is not valid. Maybe it begins with 0x, but here comma is used. So in any hexadecimal number with commas are not allowed. In the same way, decimal point is also not allowed in hexadecimal number integer constants. Next one is the real constant. The next category is real constant or floating point constant. So these are the numbers where we can use a fraction component, that is decimal points. These constant may be written in fraction form or in exponent form. We can use either two way. One, we can use it with as a fraction point, that is with point decimal point. Another one is we can use with the exponent. Fraction form of a real constant is a signed or unsigned. Here is also we can use positive or negative numbers also allowed here. It must have at least one digit before and after a decimal point. It may be prefixed with plus or minus sign. A real constant without any sign will be considered as a positive. Suppose if you didn't use any sign like plus or minus, then the default sign is plus and that number is considered as a positive number. The exponent form of real constant consists of two parts. One is mantissa and exponent. Mantissa must be either an integer or a real constant. The mantissa followed by a letter E or small letter e and the exponent, and should also be an integer. Here you can see, for example, if you want to write this number 580000.0, it may be written as 0.58 into 10 to the power of 8 or 0.58 E8. So it is called mantissa method of referring any number. So in the same way, you can refer any mantissa number in fraction also. Here you can see 5.864 exponent 1 referred as a 10 to the power of 1 into 5.864. This is the basic mathematical rules for using exponent number in calculation. This is the same rule is used in computer science also. Next one is the Boolean literals. So already we discussed two literals. One is integer constant literal. Another one is floating point constant literal. So that is the first literal. These two literals comes under numeric constant. So we discussed numeric constant. It consists of two. One is integer constant. Integer constant consists three number: decimal, octal, hexadecimal. Real constant consists of two. One is mantissa, another one is exponent. Now we are going to discuss the second literal, Boolean literal. Of course, we also discussed this Boolean literal in chapter number 2 as a Boolean algebra, where true or false values are accepted and they are only processed. In the same way, Boolean literals also accept either true or false. Internally, true has value 1 and false has value 0, which we know. So next constant is character constant. A character constant in C++ is a valid single character enclosed with a single code. So generally character refers to single. There should not be more than one character. If there was a group of character, then that group of character is not called as character constant, that is called as string. This is when we talk about character refers to single. So we see here the valid character is a $2. So 2 is also considered as character, but the condition is all the character constants should enclosed with single quotes. If you if you if you if you quote if you enclose any single character with double quotes, then it is invalid. See here, is invalid, this one is valid, because here we use double quotation, here we use single quotation. So as per C++ rules, character constant should be enclosed with the single quotes only. We cannot use double quotes. So the value of single character constant has an equivalent ASCII value. So all the ASCII values can be used in character constant. Next one is the escape sequence or non-graphic characters. So non-graphic characters refers to space, tab, backspace, enter key, new line. These are the non-graphic characters, or we can also called as non-printable characters. These cannot be typed directly from a keyboard during the execution of a program in C++. For example, backspace, tabs, etc. we cannot type at the time of execution. So these are called non-graphical or non-printable or escape sequence. For that purpose, we are using a special character constant called escape sequence. It represented by a backslash followed by one or two letters. Some of the escape sequence are here. So what is the rule of using escape sequence? That escape sequence should be prefixed with the backslash. See here, all the escape sequence which begins with a backslash. After that, we can use either single or two letters, one or two letters we can use. For each and every escape sequence, there was some special non-graphical characters is allotted. For example, /a, it means alert bell or audible. /b backspace, /f form feed, /n new line, /r carriage written, /t horizontal tab, /v vertical slab, // backslash, single quote, double quote, question mark. See here, these are the some of the escape sequence. So one thing you should remember, what is escape sequence? These are the special characters which we can call it as a non-printable or non-graphical characters which should print at the time of execution, which can be achieved through escape sequence. So escape sequence can be identified backslash as a prefix, and after that one or two letters only allowed in escape sequence. So next one is the string literals. Sequence of characters. I already told you when we discussing about character constant, when a group of characters is there, then that group of characters cannot be called as character. They are called as strings. By default, string literals are automatically added with a special character /0, that is null at the end. For example, if you type welcome, then at the time of saving that word, that string, the last after E there was a space. It is automatically added to any string in C++. Therefore, the string welcome will actually be represented as welcome/o. See here. So when you try to save welcome, then that word save as a welcome/o. /o is a null value of space. In memory, the size of the string is not 7 but 8 characters. So when you count the number of characters in the string welcome, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 characters in string welcome, but at the time of technically talking, memory size of the particular string is 8, because the null value is also added automatically. So it includes the /o. So these are the some of the valid string literals. So in character, we should use only one character, and that character should be enclosed with the single quotes. In string literal, there may be more than one character or one character, but that the strings should be enclosed with the double quotation. For example, here you can see we use only a single letter A, but that letter is enclosed with the double quotation. So this A is considered as a string, not as a character. So it is valid as a string but invalid as a character. See here, it is invalid here. So invalid character constant is double quotation A. But here you can see valid string character double quotation A. So it is considered as a string, not as a character. So what is the difference? Character constant should use single quotation, string literals should use double quotation. Character constant should contain only one character. String constant may contain one or more. So we can use one character or we can use more than one character like welcome, like 1, 2, 3. But we should enclose that string with a double quotation. This is the simple rule for string literals. Whereas in invalid string literals, you can see this is more than one character, but they are enclosed with single quotes, so it is invalid. So here also the strings are enclosed with single quotes, so single quote is only used for character state, but when you use it for a string literal, then it is called invalid string literals. Now we are going to discuss the next lexical unit, operators. What is operators? The symbols which do some mathematical operations are called operators. The data items or values that the operators act upon are called operands. So operators are the symbol which do some mathematical operation, and that operation, that mathematical operation was executed on particular data. That data are called operands. See here, 5 plus 6. So plus is the operator. A minus B, minus is the operator, but this plus is acted on two datas, one is 5, another one is 6. Then these 5 and 6 are called operands. So the data items or values that the operator act upon are called as operands. So A and B are called operands. The symbol which act on datas, that datas or values are called operands. That symbol which do some operation are called operators. In C++, these operators can be classified into three types based upon the number of operands required. So depending upon the number of operands, for example, plus operator required two datas, two values. In the same way, minus operator required two values. So depending upon the number of values, operators are classified into three categories. One is unary operator, second one is binary operator, third one is ternary operator. So the operator which requires only one operand are called unary operator. The operator which require two operands are called binary operator. The operator which require three operands are called ternary operator. So I hope you understand the concept. So we are going to see these operators one by one. First we discuss the unary operators. There are two unary operators here, and we will see another one also. So here we are going to discuss two unary operators. One is increment, another one is decrement. So plus plus, two symbols are used for increment operator. Minus minus, two symbols are used to represent decrement operator. So these increment, that is plus plus, and decrement minus operator, what they do? They simply do incrementing by 1 or decrementing by 1. For example, you can use plus plus operator on single operand like x plus plus or plus plus x. What will happen? C is the same as x is equal to x plus 1. So the meaning of x plus plus is, or plus plus x is equal to x plus 1. For example, consider the value of the x is 5, and we implement the operator plus plus on that variable x plus plus, then value of the x is incremented by 1. Then after the executing the x increment operator, value of the x is 6 because it includes 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6, which is already stored in the variable, same variable called x. In the same way, we can use decrement also, x minus minus or minus minus x. If you consider value of the x is 5, here you can see x is equal to x minus 1. So 5 minus 1, 4. Then 4 is going to store the variable x. So what is the value of the x? 4. So decrement operator decrease the value by 1. Increment operator increase the value by 1. This is the difference between increment and decrement operator. So these are the two important operator which comes under unary operators. Next operator is binary operators. Binary operators have a set of a group of operators, namely five. There are five operators are there: arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, assignment operator, and conditional operator. So we will see one by one. All these operators comes under binary because all these operators require two operands. So bi means two. So binary operator means the operator which works on two operands. That is the reference binary operator. So here very simple thing, arithmetic operator is the operator which do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. For example, here you can see plus for addition, minus subtraction, asterisk multiplication, slash division, and this is the percentage. So but here these do some other work we will see. So plus is the operator operands on two values. 10 plus 5 is equal to 15, minus 10 minus 5 5, asterisk 10 into 5 50, division 10 divided by 2 5 2. So when we divide, we only consider the quotient of the division, but we forgot to say that whenever we divide any number, we get two answers. One is quotient, another one is remainder. So we always ignore the remainder, we take only quotient. It is the basic thing. But when you come to technically talking, remainder is also a answer. So but generally if you want to extract the quotient, we can use the division operator called slash, backslash, so a slash operator. So if you want to extract the remainder of the division operation, then you can use the percentage. This percentage operator is called as modulus. This operator used to find the remainder of your division. Find the remainder of the division. For example, here you can see 10 percentage 3. We can call it as a modulus. We should call this percentage symbol as modulus in C++ because it is the name allotted for this symbol, modulus. 10 modulus 3. When we divide this, so what is the answer? 1. So because modulus will give remainder as output, but slash will give quotient as output. This is the simple difference. So I hope you understand very well. Now we are going to see the next group called relational operator. So it is just like Boolean operator which compares two numbers and gives the result in true or false. This is the simple logic here. So there are two numbers. There are different operators like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. Here you can see there are two numbers, a greater than b, a less than b, a greater or equal to b, a less than or equal to b. This expression is going to give either true or false. They simply compare and give the result true or false. Consider value of the a is 10, b is 7. So as per this expression, what is the result? Value of the a is 10, value of the b is 7. So 10 greater than 7. Say what is the answer? True or false? Of course true, because a is greater than b. Of course true. When you come to this expression, next expression, a less than b, here value of the a is 10, value of the b is 7. So 10 less than 7. No, of course not. 10 is not less than 7. So value is, what is the result? False. Next one, a greater than or equal to b. Of course a is greater than or equal to b because 10 is greater than or equal to b. So if what is the difference between condition is, this will check first the given number is greater, otherwise it checks equal also. So if the given number is 7, consider if the a value is 7. For example, when you check this, 7 greater than or equal to 7. So here this expression will check first greater than symbol, then is simply written as false. But when you check this equal operator, then this expression is going to give true result because it is not greater than but it is equal. But when you use the same value here, 7 greater than 7, no, condition is false. So expression is false. In the same way, 7 greater than or equal to 7, yes, condition is true, expression is true because it is not greater but it is equal. In the same way, you can consider here the less than operator, 7 less than or equal to 7, or we can call it as a true else if the value of the result of the expression is true, because it is not less than but it is equal. The same way, when you come to this 7 equal to if b 7 equal to 7, yes, condition true. But if you take this value 10 7, so 10 equal to 7, no, false, condition is the result is false. But when you come here, a not equal to b, so not equal to checks the not equality. It means value of the a and value of the b should be different, then only it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So as per the given value 10 not equal to 7, of course it is not equal to 7, so expression result is true. But if you take value of the a as 7, so 7 not equal to 7, no, 7 is not equal to 7, so condition is false. So expression returns false. This is called the relational operator. These operators we are going to use in programming. Next step, logical operator. So this is something one step up of a relational operator. It is same as relational operator. So we already know what is logical operator in Boolean algebra. We already learned and or not operator. I just simply recall that concept. The logical and combines two different relational expression into one and returns one. That is true if both expressions are true. Otherwise, it returns zero. If both expressions, see here, a less than b less than c, these are the two different expressions are combined by and. So this will return true because a less than b, first expression, check the value, a value is 5, b value is 6. 5 less than 6, of course, this expression will return true. And you go for second expression, b less than c. Of course, value of the b is 6, value of the 6 is c is 7. 6 less than 7. So second condition is also true. So both the expression returns true, then only AND operator return true. If any one of the expression is false, then it will return false. See here, a greater than b, of course not. So first expression is false, second expression is true because b less than c, 6 less than is 7. So then AND operator will return false. So we already know what is OR. This operator will return true. It return true if either one of the expression is true. It returns 0, that is false if both the expression are false. So OR operator symbol is pipe. See here, this is the symbol used here in C++ as OR logical operator, where it checks two expression, not two values. See here, this is one is the expression 1, this is the second expression. So when it checks two expression, this one is true, this one is false, so that's why it return true. It checks for true of any one of the expression, returns, then it will return true. This is already we discussed in Boolean algebra. Now we already know not work as a single expression. It comes under unary operator. It requires only one expression, but under OR operator require two expression. See here, AND operator require two expression, OR operator require two expression, but NOT operator require only one expression. That's why it comes under unary operator. So this operator will simply invert the result. For example, a greater than b, so 5 greater than 6, false, then it will turn true. So simply invert the result of the expression. So here you can see the definition. Not works on a single expression. It simply negatives or inverts the truth value. So whatever be the value, whatever be the result of any expression, not operator, that is exclamation symbol, will simply invert. If the value is true, then return false. If the value is false, then return true. This is we already know. So I hope you understand this logical operator. Now we are going to see the next operator called assignment operator. Of course, we know there is only one assignment operator, is equal. The single equal symbol which stores the value of the right side to the left side. So here you can see assignment or operator is used to assign a value to a variable which is on the left hand side of an assignment statement. is commonly used as the assignment operator in all computer programming languages. This operator copies the value at the right side of the operator to the left side variable. So this also comes under binary operator. So we can combine these is equal operator with arithmetic operator. See here, plus is equal to, minus is equal to, asterisk is equal to, division is equal to, modulus operator is equal to. So in this example you can see, so a is equal to 10. When you use plus is equal to addition assignment, c is equal to a plus is equal to 5. So what will be the answer? So 10 plus 5 is 15, which is stored in the variable a. So a value is 15 and which is stored in the variable c. So in the same way, a minus is equal to 5. So value of that a is 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, which is stored in the variable a and which is again stored in the variable c. So you can see that. So in the same way, we can use this assignment operator, very simple assignment operator, which we already discussed. Now we are going to see the next operator called conditional operator. So this operator comes under ternary operator because it needs three operands. The ternary operator needs three operands, which is just like if else, which we discussed in chapter number 8, the alternate sequence. So I hope you understand, you remember that concept, the alternate sequence, loop sequence, the sequence statement, alternate statement, loop statements, which we already discussed in the chapter number 8. So in the same way this operator acts, we will learn more about this operator in later chapters. Now we are going to see the other operators. Other than this operator, there are some common operators like comma, size of, pointer, component selection, class member operator. So these are the some of the commonly used operator for doing some of the work. For example, comma is an operator in C++ used to string together several expressions. So comma operator is used to combine many expressions, yeah, and the group of expression is separated by comma is evaluated from left to right. So this is the function of comma. Next one is size of. This operator returns the size of a variable in bytes. For example, if you declare any variable and you want to know what is the exact memory size of the variable, for that purpose you can use the size of operator. Next, pointer and address of. So we are going to use these all the operators one by one. Next, component, the dot operator, direct component selector. Another one is indirect component selector. This is the scope access. Slash is the resolution. Dot asterisk is the dereference. This is the dereference pointer to class members. Now we are going to learn these all the operators one by one in our second volume on all syllabuses. Next one is the precedence of operators. What is precedence of operator? Operators executed in the order of precedence, preference. We know there are many operators. We already discussed many operators in C++. When any expression combines all these operators, how this C++ compiler will execute this operator and provide the result. The operands and the operators are grouped in a specific logical way for evaluation. These logical groups is called as association, and all the operators are evaluated as per this rule. Very first, the expression which are inside the parenthesis and square bracket are evaluated, and plus plus minus minus postfix or prefix are evaluated. After that, asterisk slash modular. After that, plus minus. After that, less than or equal to, greater or equal to, not equal to, and this is the order of precedence. This is the rule which were followed by C++ compiler for evaluating any expression. This is the rule same as in the mathematics. Now we are going to next topic called punctuators. So these are also symbols which are used to delimiters while constructing a C program. What is called delimiters? Delimiters is a separators which separate different parts of a C++ program. For separating different parts of C++ program, we use different symbols. That symbols are called punctuators. Punctuator used in C++, most of the symbols are very similar to C and Java. See here, curly braces. It is used to start and end block of code. So if you want to group any group of statement, collection of statement, if you want to group any collection of statement, we can group that collection of statement within these open and close curly braces. In the same way, if you want to indicate function calls, function parameter, we can use parentheses. So square brackets indicate single or multi-dimensional arrays. In the concept of arrays, we use this symbol, square brackets. Commas are used to separate expression. Semicolon are used to terminate a statement. Colon is used as a label. This double slash and slash star star slash is used as a comments. So whatever the line which is prefixed with this double slash is not interpreted or compiled by compiler, or when you want to give more than one line commands, you can use this slash star and star slash symbol at the beginning and the end of the lines for using multiple line commands. So this is the different punctuator used in C++ language. So this is the end of this session. I hope you understand the basic concept of C++ programming languages. Now we are also learn more concept which is going to discuss in the upcoming topics. So I hope you understand. If you have any doubt, contact me through WhatsApp, clear all your doubts. So fundamentals are very important for any programming language. So please do as much as possible the best way for learning and understanding this concept. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.